Okay, well, really proud of our guys. Really physical play in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Proud of the way that our guys came out and showed our prowess in handling inclement weather and continuing to play hard throughout the entire game. Making sure that, again, every critical situation seems like our team responded really well, responded to adversity really well, and then took momentum of the game after a rough start. We threw an interception, had a safety, and found ourselves playing from behind. But once we took the lead, felt like we started gaining more and more momentum. Just really proud of our guys, our coaches, our players. Played through a lot of injuries. Ryan Walk got hurt as well. Guy who's really one of the hearts and souls of our team. So just all in all, again, coming up here to play one of our rivals and coming out with a victory in that sort of fashion, rushing for 329 yards. It's a really positive day. Questions, please.
James, go ahead.
Mario, Travis becomes just the second player in Oregon history to top 200 yards in this rivalry. That's a career high for him. How defining a performance do you think your running back just had tonight?
Gets better and better all the time. He's a game changer, and he changed it in a lot of different ways. He got banged up last week, and you would have never noticed in the way he practiced all week and the way he played tonight. Tremendous leadership skills, ability to make big plays in the most critical situations. And I think, again, Travis is just scratching the surface of what he's going to be.
We'll go to Eric Scopel.
Coach, you talked about overcoming a slow start there. The defense really, I think, gave you that opportunity, and the offense finally found its footing, in the second quarter there in the second half. But talk about the defensive effort, and I know you're never going to say it's perfect or it's the best, but that's pretty close to getting to that level, right?
Outstanding. Held them over for the entire game, less than 170 yards, I believe. And yeah, without a doubt, we were really having a tough time finding our way on offense early. It was raining sideways just about. The passing game was. We had to be smart. We had to limit what we were doing. And it felt like it was a 3 and out, 4 or 5 plays and out just consistently. And it's not only that it's the way they were doing it, the physicality. You could hear it just sounded different from the sideline at how physical the front seven was playing and how much our defensive backs were smothering their wide receivers as well. So great defensive performance. I know we gave up that one long drive we'd like to have back. But certainly, all in all, just very proud of the way those guys played tonight.
Antoine Staley, register guard.
Yeah, Coach, talk about the defense there for a bit. Just talk about that big fourth down stop and how much momentum that gave your offense to eventually go down to score that touchdown.
Huge. They run their Wildcat package pretty consistently. And our defense just knocked back the line of scrimmage, knocked it completely backwards and threw them for a loss. Huge momentum swing right there. We took the ball down and we score. Great play by Anthony, Devin Williams, reading it out the entire way on the boot and certainly changing the entire momentum of the game. Never looked back after that. But battle, the whole way was a battle. They got a really good football team. They have really good players. So that was, without a doubt, that was a momentum swing and a game changer.
Go back to James Crepia.
Mario, when you had to, particularly you mentioned the weather, you guys ran it a ton throughout the game, but especially the second half, the opening drive and that touchdown, 6 straight run plays. How much of this, not just because of weather, but this was you guys being exactly who you are, a ground and pound team, both offensively and defensively?
Well, offensively, I think we've morphed a little bit now. We throw the ball pretty well too. It's just, again, the rain was coming down at such a high clip that it wasn't going to be easy throwing the ball. You had as good of a chance of having a tip ball or whatnot, something happening throwing the ball as you would, just giving the ball to one of the best players in college football, and Travis Dye behind that offensive line. And we felt that. The way that we practice is really, it means a lot to us. We take a lot of pride in it. We take a lot of pride in block destruction. And we felt that even though we've been down a couple of offensive linemen that, we could find ways to, establish the line of scrimmage and take control of it. And they had some really good plays too, but overall, I just thought our guys did a really, really good job. And Coach Moorhead and the offensive staff did a really nice job of, mixing it up, getting the ball inside, outside, our gap schemes, our pin and pulls, ball on the perimeter. You know, it was really hard to find the football where it was going. And always, you know, Anthony's always a threat to run the football as well. He did a great job with his legs. His third down pass to Johnny was huge later on, even though we got called for something when we had a first and goal out the 1 inch line. But I guess I'll figure that one out later. But yep, good stuff.
Let's go Jared Denny, scooped up.
Hey Mario, I'm curious about you guys punting it there with the short field late in the game, and just how satisfied are you with the fact that that paid off for you guys?
Punting on 4th and 33.
Instead of it was 4th and 2 instead of kicking the field goal. I think it would have been a 49-yarder for Cam.
On remind me exactly where we were on the field when we were up by 8 points. Yeah. Well, we felt our defense was playing really good. We felt that less than one, we were in good shape. Chances at 2 were not as good, but still decent. We're playing to the elements of the game. It was raining. Felt it was going to be hard to move the ball, and our defense was playing good. And they were going to have to score a touchdown and get the 2-point conversion just to tie us. Felt that with the odds, and it played better in our favor and gave us a better chance to win, to put our defense back on the field.
We'll go Matt Preem.
Yeah, Mario, can you describe just the feeling in the second half where you guys averaged almost 7 yards a carry, and you don't have to throw? Like, doesn't really matter if you want to or not. You don't have to. Can you just describe what that does for your offense?
Well, I think the threat of the throw helps it a lot. You know, they know that Anthony is a really good passer and our receivers are good players. When you're able to do that, when your players execute at that high of a level, that's high level execution now, right? Because they know you're running it. You know, there's only a certain amount of things you can run out of certain formations, and you still find success. It's just a testament to our running backs, our offensive line, our tight ends, our coaches, the play calling, and then again, our Tuesday, Wednesday practices and everything that goes into that. So a lot, just really, really proud of that, man. That's hard to do. You know, you guys have covered football for a long time. It is hard to say, hey, let's go, let's line up. We're going to pound it and let's roll. And we did that tonight. Proud of our guys.
We'll go back to James Crepia.
Mario, on the opening play of the fourth quarter, just how big was it not only to score and take command as you did, but on that play, at the end of the third is when Ryan goes down. George Moore comes in at left guard. I can't recall if he had come in earlier in the game. That was one of his first snaps. Obviously, just came in at the end of the third. He pulls around and leads the block on the edge, and Anthony sets the block to get Travis into the end zone. Does that not just typify all that you guys talk about offensively?
Well, for the guys up front, yeah, I mean, Coach Mirabal, that offensive line, they do the type of work that they do, the level of teaching, the level of developing that goes on there is different. And it's really showing up this year. You know, I'm glad, you know, when you dissect a play like that, it's good. It's good to know that it's being noticed for them. I mean, not that they really care. I mean, those guys ain't asking for any kind of publicity, but it's good that you see that because that's a lot of work, man. When you have guys that are trained at all 5 positions that could go in there and do it, it means a lot. And look when it paid off, when one of our leaders goes down and when we need a big time play, and big time playmakers are sometimes your offensive linemen, and George was on that play.
Antoine Staley.
Yeah, I mean, I know each game is different, but just talk about, do you think this could be potentially just what we see from your defense week in and week out?
Well, I think you've seen, you know, you saw some really great moments in the UCLA game. You know, you're a 4th down stop away from having the ball out there 40 up by 17, right? And then against Colorado, you see, you know, when we pulled out our guys, you know, we had given up 14 points, but you saw some really impressive play. And then you stack this one on top of that. You're seeing this scheme, these players, all just, it's all falling in, you know, it's all galvanizing itself. It's all falling in, it's getting in sync. Guys are starting to gel. Guys are starting to become much more comfortable playing beside each other. There's more consistency in which players are playing beside each other. So we hope that's a trend that continues to go upwards.
We'll go with Luciano of End Zoners.
Hey, Coach, what adjustments were made at halftime to come out and score 14 unanswered points, and what did you tell your players?
Well, we saw some things formationally. where we felt we could have an advantage. They did some different things in the first half, and not earth-shattering different, but the way you play your post safety defenses and coverages. I mean, you can drop a guy in outside the box, scoot a guy in, scoot him out. Again, the vice versa, however you do it. But either way, your blocking responsibilities and your leverages change. And we identified a couple things we felt that we could take advantage of. We did that right out of the box, right out of the chute, just came out and did it, and it paid off for us.
All right, one or two more for Coach. Let's go with Patrick McMahon, KWVA.
Hey, Coach. So you guys actually allowed a season low in passing yards today with 111, which is well below the season average and around 261-ish. What allowed your secondary to have such success defending the pass and shutting down Dylan Morris?
A combination of things. I think the front seven certainly made it different. The pressure. The weather helped some, right? I mean, it wasn't a passing type of game, but I just thought that we played our leverages a lot better. We played our techniques a lot better. Our eye discipline was night and day better. And that has been a huge focal point for our secondary, our coaches. They showed up big tonight.
Last question for Coach. Let's go to Matt Preem.
Yeah, Mario, that second half, or second quarter, excuse me, when you guys got the fourth down stop and then went down and scored, you feel like that was a moment where maybe you took Washington's best shot and the moment went back on your side and you guys were able to regain control and just win the game there?
Well, I think it further highlights the importance of those defensive stops, right? Because they had all the momentum. And if our defense doesn't come up with those stops, that might continue. And then in a game like this, where you really can't just throw the ball down the field at will, it could have made a difference. So without question, that was a momentum changer, the momentum swing. Phenomenal job by our defense making that stop. Tremendous job by the offense capitalizing.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot for your time tonight. Have a safe trip home. Congrats on the win.
Okay, thanks, guys. Go Ducks.